Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Today's video we're going to be showing President Trump's first press conference as president. Hopefully you had a chance to watch the first one, and that was with President Biden. And it clearly shows, if you watch both of them, the respect and the softball questions that they asked President Biden, in opposed to the disrespect of President Trump. It's so apparent. And there's going to be a couple of answers maybe here and there that I left on there. But the main objective of this video is to show you the questions that were hollered at President Trump, that it didn't happen with President Biden. So if you like this video, please share it, press the notification button, like it, and subscribe to it. I would totally appreciate that. And remember, let's not forget. Thank you for watching.
And with that, I just say, God bless America, and let's take some questions. Mara, go ahead. You were cut off pretty violently at our last news.
Mr. President, did you fire Mike Flynn?
President Trump, since you brought up Russia, I'm looking for some clarification here. During your campaign, did anyone from your team communicate with members of the Russian government or Russian intelligence? And if so, what were the nature of those conversations?
Go ahead.
Excuse me. You said, I am, just want to get untangled. Very simply, you said today that you had the biggest electoral margin since Ronald Reagan with 304, 306 electoral votes. In fact, President Obama got 365 in 2008.
Well, I'm talking about Republicans.
President Obama 332,
Yeah.
and George H.W. Bush 426 when he won as president. So why should Americans trust you?
Well, no, I was given that
information.
I was just given. We had a very, very big margin.
I guess my question is, why should Americans trust you when you accuse the information they receive of being fake when you're providing information that's
Well,
not
I was given that information.
Mr. President,
Actually, I've seen that information.
President Trump.
But it was a very substantial victory. Do you agree with that?
You're the president.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Good afternoon to you, sir. Can you tell us, in determining that Lieutenant General Flynn there was no wrongdoing in your mind, what evidence was weighed? Did you ask for transcripts of these telephone intercepts with Russian officials, particularly the Ambassador Sergei Kislyak, who he was communicating with? What evidence did you weigh to determine that there was no wrongdoing? Further to that, sir, you've said on a couple of occasions this morning you are going to aggressively pursue the source of these leaks.
We are.
Can we ask what you're going to do? And also, we've heard about a review of the intelligence community headed up by Steven Feinberg.
Yes, John.
On the leaks, sir, what will you do?
Go ahead, finish off, then I'll get you.
I'm sorry. What will you do on the leaks? You have said twice.
Yes, we're looking at. Yes, John.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to get you to clarify, because it's a very important point. Can you say definitively that nobody on your campaign had any contacts with the Russians during the campaign? And on the leaks, is it fake news or are these real leaks?
Yeah, go ahead, Jim. Well, I had nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with Russia. I told you. I have no deals there. I have no... Okay, Jim?
Mr. President, thank you very much. And just for the record, we don't hate you. I don't hate you.
Okay.
So just want to pass that along. But
Ask Jeff Zucker how he got his job, okay?
if I may follow up on some of the questions that have taken place so far here, sir.
Well, not too many. You know, we do have other people. You do have other people, and your ratings aren't as good as some of the other people that are waiting.
Pretty good right now, actually.
Okay. Go ahead, Jim.
If I may ask, sir, you said earlier that that WikiLeaks was revealing information about the Hillary Clinton campaign during the election cycle. You welcomed that. At one
I was okay with it.
You said you loved WikiLeaks. At another campaign press conference, you called on the Russians to find the missing 30,000 emails. I'm wondering, sir, if you...
Well, she was actually missing 33, and then that got extended with a whole
Maybe
pile
my
after
numbers are off a
that.
little bit, too.
No, but I did say 30, but it was actually higher than that.
If I may ask you, sir, it sounds as though you do not have much credibility here when it comes to leaking, if that is something that you encouraged during the campaign.
Fair question. Ready?
If I may ask you that.
No, but let me do one at a
If I may
time.
ask
Do you
a
mind?
follow-up. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah.
And if I may follow up on that, just something that Jonathan Carl was asking you about. You said that the leaks are real, but the news is fake. I guess I don't understand. It seems that there's a disconnect there. If the information coming from those leaks is real, then how can the stories be
No,
fake?
the reporting is fake.
And if I
Look,
may ask,
look.
I just want to ask
Jim, you
one
know
other-
what it is? Here's ranting and raving. Go ahead.
If I may just one more follow-up.
Should I let him
because
have a
of this-
little bit more?
Well,
What
I
do you
mean,
think,
just
Peter?
because
Yeah?
of this-
Peter,
I
should
just-
I let him have a
just
little
because
bit
of
more?
this-
Sit down.
the-
Sit down.
Just,
We'll
just
get
because
it.
of the
We'll get
just
it.
because of the attack of fake news and attacking our network, I just want to ask you, sir.
I'm changing it from fake news, though.
Doesn't that undermine?
Very fake news.
I
Go
know,
ahead.
but aren't you?
Go ahead.
Real news, Mr. President. Real news.
And you're not related to our new.
I am not related, sir. No. I do like the sound of Secretary Acosta. I must say.
You know, I
Mr.
looked at
President.
that name. I said, wait a minute. Is there any relation there, Alex
There's-
Acosta?
I'm sure you checked that out,
Okay.
sir.
No, I checked it. They said, no, sir. I said, do me a favor. Go back and check the family tree. Okay.
But aren't you concerned, sir, that you are undermining the people's faith in the First Amendment, freedom of the press in this country, when you call stories you don't like fake news? Why not just say it's a story I don't like? When
I do
you
that.
call it fake news,
No, I
you're
do that.
undermining
No, no.
confidence in
I
our
do
news
that.
media.
Here's the thing.
Isn't
Okay.
that important?
I understand. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We have no doubt that you believe this story is fake news, but for those who believe that there is something to it, is there anything that you have learned over these last few weeks that you might be able to reveal that might ease their concerns that this isn't fake news? And secondly,
Yes.
Mr. President, you mentioned Russia. Let's talk about some serious issues that have come up in the last week that you have had to deal with as President of the United States.
Okay.
You mentioned the spy vessel off the coast of the United States.
Not good.
There was a ballistic missile test that many interpret as
Not
a
good.
violation of an
Not
agreement
good.
between the two countries, and a Russian plane buzzed a U.S. destroyer.
Not good.
I listened to you.
Excuse me, but I know you well enough. Then you would say, he was too tough. He shouldn't have done that. Look,
I'm just
all
trying to
of the
find out
things.
your
Wait a minute.
orientation
Wait,
to those.
excuse me, just
I'm
one
trying to
second.
find out what you're
All
gonna
of
do about
those
them, Mr.
things that you
President.
mentioned, people. Go ahead.
How are you interpreting those moves, and what do you intend to do about them?
Just
have
the
you
way
given
I said
Rex
it.
Tillerson any advice or counsel
I
on how
have.
to deal?
I have.
So when you say they're not good, do you mean that
Who
they
did
are
I say is not good?
No, when I read off the three things that have recently happened.
No,
Each
it's
one of them
not
you
good,
said they're
but they
not
happen-
good. But do they damage the relationship?
They
Do
all happened
undermine
recently. No, I'm
this
gonna
country's
see what
ability
happens.
to work with Russia?
They all-
Can we conclude there'll be no response to these particular provocations?
That.
There
I
will
don't
be a
have to
res-
tell
in
you
other
what
words,
I'm
there
going
will
to
be a
do in North
response,
Korea.
Mr.
Wait a
President.
minute. Okay.
Thanks.
Can I just ask you, thank you very much, Mr. President.
Where are you from?
BBC.
Okay. Here's another beauty.
It's a good line. Impartial, free and fair.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. President,
Just like CNN, right?
on the travel ban, we could banter back and forth. On the travel ban, would you accept that that was a good example of the smooth running of government?
Yeah, I
to
do.
fine
I do.
tune-
Let me tell you about the
Were there
travel-
any mistakes in
wait.
that? Brief follow-up. But if it's so urgent, why not introduce...
Yes. Go ahead.
I was hoping that we could get a yes or no answer on one of these questions involving Russia. Can you say whether you are aware that anyone who advised your campaign had contacts with Russia during the course of the election?
Well, I told you, General Flynn obviously was dealing, so that's one person, but he was dealing as he should have been.
During the election?
No, nobody that I know of. Nobody
So you're
that
not
I know.
aware of any contacts during the course
look.
of the election?
How many times do I have to answer this question?
Can you just say
Russia
yes or no
is
on
a
it?
ruse. Yeah, I know you have to get up and ask a question, so important. Russia is a ruse. I have nothing to do with Russia. Haven't made a phone call to Russia in years. Don't speak to people from Russia. Not that I wouldn't. I just have nobody to speak to.
But in his capacity as your campaign manager, was he in touch with Russian officials?
But let me just tell you something, that I hate the charge. I find it repulsive. I hate even the question, because people that know me, and you heard the Prime Minister, you heard Netanyahu yesterday. Did you hear him? Bibi. He said, I've known Donald Trump for a long time. And then he said, forget it. So you should take that instead of having to get up and ask a very insulting question like that. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm Lisa from the PBS.
See, it just shows you about the press, but that's the way the press is.
Thank you, Mr. President. Lisa Desjardins from the PBS NewsHour.
Good.
On national security and immigration, can you give us more details on the executive order you plan for next week, even its broad outlines?
Yeah.
Will it be focused on specific
very fair
countries?
question.
And in addition, on the DACA program for immigration, what is your plan? Do you plan to continue that program or to end it?
Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, First Lady Melania Trump announced the reopening of the White House Visitor's Office.
Yes.
And she does a lot of great work for the country as well. Can you talk a little bit about what First Lady Melania Trump does for the country? And there's a unique level of interest in your administration. So by opening the White House Visitor's Office, What does that mean to you and the rest of the
Now that's what I call a nice question. That is very nice. Who are you with? Good, I'm going to start watching. All right. Go ahead. Yes. Hi. Oh, this is going to be a bad question, but that's okay.
No, it's not going to be a bad
Good,
question.
because I enjoy watching you on television. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much. Mr. President, I need to find out from you. You said something as it relates to inner cities. That was one of your platforms during your campaign. Now
Fix
you're
the inner cities. Yeah?
Fixing the inner
Yep.
cities. What will be that fix and your urban agenda, as well as your HBCU executive order that's coming out this afternoon? Now, see, it wasn't bad, was it?
With the inner cities.
Well,
Okay?
when you say the inner cities, are you gonna include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as?
Am I gonna include
Are you
who?
going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus?
I tell you what. Do you want to
as
set
well
up
as
the
on
meeting?
CB
Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of
I'm
yours?
just a reporter.
No, set up the
I
meeting.
know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go.
watching
Set up
right
a
now.
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great, the Congressional Black Caucus. I think it's great in this country. Okay, one more. Go ahead. No, one question. Two we can't handle. This room can't handle two. Go ahead. Give me the better of your two.
I'll follow up on my colleague's question about anti-Semitism. It's not about your personality or your beliefs. We're talking about rising anti-Semitism around the country, some of it by supporters in your name. What do you...
Okay.
Let's ask one more follow-up. One more question, sir.
You're the president now. What are you going to do about it?
Who is that? Where is that?
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about the tensions that have been?
Oh, I'm working on it. No, I'm working on it very hard. No. Look, hey, just so you understand, we had a totally divided country for 8 years, and long before that, in all fairness to President Obama, long before President Obama, we have had a very divided. I didn't come along and divide this country. This country was seriously divided before I got here. We're going to work on it very hard. One of the questions that was asked, I thought was a very good question, was about the inner cities. I mean, that's part of it. But we're going to work on education. We're going to work on we're going to try and stop the crime. We have great law enforcement officials. We're going to try and stop crime. We're not going to try and stop, we're going to stop crime. But it's very important to me. But this isn't Donald Trump that divided a nation. We went 8 years with President Obama, and we went many years before President Obama. We lived in a divided nation. And I am going to try. I will do everything within my power to fix that. I want to thank everybody very much. It's a great honor to be with you. Thank you.